Hi, we will be talking about the 7 sins of memory. According to Daniel Schachter, there are 7 distinct malfunctions in our memory. These include transience, absent-mindedness, blocking, misattribution, suggestibility, bias, and persistence.
The first sin of memory is transience, which is info is less accessible over time. Recently processed info is easier to retrieve. Given these two pictures, our generation is more inclined to know Diet Coke, which replaced the Tab energy drink. And Tab, which was mostly in the 90s, is now not mostly sold in the United States.
The next sin of memory is absent-mindedness, which is forgetting as a result of shallow processing during encoding or retrieval. Encoding includes attention, comprehension, and transference of information from short to long-term memory. Retrieval is transference of information from long to short-term memory. For an example, it is easier to come up with your own answers when studying for an exam rather than reading over your notes and recognizing the answers as you read them. This is known as the generation effect.
The third sin is blocking, which is the retrieval failure due to interference from related information stored in memory. This is also called the ugly sisters effect, which also means that some are incorrect answers and they block the right answer by being retrieved instead. As you know, the ugly sisters did not want to Cinderella to have her beautiful shoe.
The fourth sin is misattribution, which includes 3 different types of memory confusion. The first is source confusion, which is remembering a fact and forgetting the source. The third is feelings of familiarity, which is confusing feelings of familiarity with fame, confidence, liking, and the truth. The third is false memories, the tendency to remember items or events that never happened.
The fifth sin is suggestibility, which is misleading questions and suggestions that can lead to memory distortion.
The sixth sin of memory is bias, which means ambiguous product experiences are open to multiple interpretations.
The last sin of memory is persistence, which is not forgetting things we want to forget. A typical example is PTSD, because many of these traumatic events will never forget our minds.
In conclusion, we find that our memory is far from perfect, and there are often a lot of issues with distortion, as we outlined through the 7 sins of memory. If you want more information on this topic, you can look at the link below.